Mm. Feel like I've been gone for a long time, man. Uh, feel like I've been gone for a long time. How's everyone been doing, man? How's everyone doing? How is everyone doing? I'm asking y'all, man. YouTube, man. How's everybody doing, man? Ah, man said hi from Africa. Did I leave my phone upstairs? Oh, I can't find my other phone. Must be upstairs. Oh, yeah. Shout out to NIU, man. They got a good program. I think they won the MAC a couple years ago. If I'm not mistaken, they won the MAC a couple years ago. NIU, Northern Illinois. They always had a decent program, man. They're always in a decent MAC team. You can't never sleep on the MAC, man. The MAC, the MAC is dangerous. That I wouldn't schedule no MAC teams if I was Big Ten or Notre Dame. Got too many Midwestern kids, man, that couldn't make it, either didn't have the grades or wasn't quite good enough to play at the big boys. I just did a video on Colorado. Check out my other channel. I did a video on Ock Nation TV. Go watch it if you get a chance. I just did a video on that. So I ain't even gonna get into Colorado, man. Damn, man. Yo. I let loose though on him. I let loose. I let loose on him, man. Shout out to my man Alexander Barron, man, coming through. According to YouTube, I'm a terrorist. This channel strike will make you laugh. Yeah, man. You gotta be careful what you say, man, and do, man. On YouTube, man. He says, yeah, it's a manhunt in Kentucky right now, right? Some white guy. Let me see, Kentucky. Yeah. Come on, guys. It's my first day back. Hit the damn like button, man. What happened to this channel, man? This channel's falling apart, man. I've been around for a long time, though. That happens sometimes. You've been around for a long time. Hit the like button, though, man. It says, I'm shocked the dude out on a $1,000 bond from arrest on terrorist threat in the third degree was able to purchase a firearm and 2,000 rounds of ammo in Kentucky today. Joseph Couch, the Couchmeister, Couchman, the Couchinator. $32 years old. That dude's 32. Yikes. Alert, a shooting on a... Let me go to YouTube, man.
We are now learning about another shooting in Kentucky.
Let me get my shit together, man.
Kentucky, still a lot that's unknown about what exactly is going on, but Laurel County Sheriff is saying that the below person, Joseph A. Couch, is a person of interest in the shooting that occurred at the exit 49 in the Kentucky 909 area. If you have any information regarding the whereabouts or the location, we are going to also play out, I believe we have this post as well. We do, from the Laurel County Sheriff's Office. So they're, of course, trying to put this person's image out there because they're searching for him. He is a person of interest in this case. We know very little about this developing situation out of Kentucky, but what little we do know is this. Numerous people have been shot in an active shooter situation on Interstate 75 near exit 49 just north of London, Kentucky. It's according to the Laurel County Sheriff's Office on Saturday evening. The Sheriff's Office said the highway was closed near the exit, which is 9 miles north of London. Police had responded to reports that a suspect was shooting at drivers from an overpass or a wooded area, according to multiple media accounts. Police are still searching for the suspect, according to Reuters. Brian Yennis sharing this post from the Laurel County Sheriff's Office that the below person is a person of interest in this shooting situation. That is Joseph A. Couch. That's a photo of him. Right now, we don't know too much about the situation. Governor Andy Beshear has told people to avoid the area. Beshear saying on X that he's aware of the shooting on I-75 and that law enforcement have shut the interstate down in both directions at exit 49. Avoid the area. We will provide more details once they are available. But again, not too many details coming into the newsroom as of yet. We're still waiting to learn more. We do know that the mayor of London, Kentucky has also said on Facebook to avoid the area. We're checking social media to see if the Laurel County Sheriff's Office perhaps put out any other information. But as of last check, this is the last thing that we've seen from them, which is the picture of this suspect. That is one Joseph A. Couch. He's a person of interest in the shooting that occurred at the exit 49 in Kentucky. So we'll keep you posted on the situation. Again, fluid situation. We are learning more, and there's not a lot to know during these breaking moments. Sometimes we just work with very preliminary details for hours. It can be, depending on the jurisdiction. Different law enforcement jurisdictions work at different speeds, and especially on a weekend, information sometimes can come slower. So we'll bring you updates as soon as we have them. But for now, Laurel County Sheriff is looking for Joseph A. Couch. He is a person of interest related to this shooting in Kentucky. All we know for now is that multiple people have been shot near I-75. We don't have any specifics about casualties. We don't have any more specifics other than Joseph A. Couch is a person of interest, and that's his picture. Time to take a break. Back in 2 minutes.
Wow, man.
Now, more breaking news. A dangerous situation is...
Shout out to my man, P-Mac from PMCK, whatever, from across the pond. Shout out to Across the Pond showing up tonight, man. Getting big love from London tonight, man. London in the building. I got to just start doing some more stories on London, man. We getting big love from London, man. Shout out to London, man. He says, lesbian from Glasgow, Scotland. First time I've caught you live. Big fan. Are you part of the LGB? I don't got no problem with the LGB. It's that damn T, man. That T, man. That pesky T is the one that I ain't, and I don't even got a problem with them. They just cause so much trouble, man. That T, man. That T is a motherfucker, boy.
Now, more breaking news. A dangerous situation is unfolding right now on an interstate in Kentucky. Multiple law enforcement agencies are searching for a person of interest in what a county sheriff calls an active shooter situation. Several people were wounded on Interstate 75 south of Lexington. Drivers have shared video of traffic backed up on the interstate, police racing to the scene. The mayor of nearby London, Kentucky, posted on social media that 7 people were injured. Now, not all of those were gunshot wounds. He says some of the injuries were the result of a car crash. So far, there are no reports of any deaths tonight, but the manhunt does continue at this hour. Kentucky State Police reopened I-75 a little while ago, but they are warning people who live in the area to be careful and to lock their doors tonight.
First tonight on your news, Lita, a Cordova woman's nightmare as her car is stolen and home surrounded by gunmen. Good evening to you, and thanks for being with us. I'm Shay Arthur. WRG's Alan Self is live in Cordova after speaking with the woman about her scary story. And Alan, what is she telling you?
Shay, this woman shared with us that multiple gunmen stole more than just a car. They took her last memories of her recently deceased father.
I worked hard for my vehicle. I paid it off in full, and it's how I get to work. I can't take my daughter to school right now. She missed school last week. So I just want him to stop for everyone.
Yo, man. White girl, man, just chilling, man. Getting the business end of the sun, man. You can tell she a mud shark. She's an old filthy fish. You probably brought the Sun Men to the neighbor. Sun Men probably didn't even know that neighborhood existed till you probably brought them around, man. Goddamn filthy fish, you. Yeah, man, she looked like the type of white girl that date black guys, man. She got that rough appearance, that outer exterior, man. That rough exterior, man. She got a rough exterior.
I worked hard for my vehicle. I paid it off in full, and it's how I get to work. I can't take my daughter to school right now. She missed school last week. So I just want him to stop for everybody, for the sake of Memphis.
Chelsea Allen's home was stalked by suspects around 11 p.m. who tampered with her security camera. But her neighbor's camera caught the chilling...
God damn, you niggas listen, man. I hope they start lynching y'all niggas, man. I really do, man. I hope they start lynching y'all, man. Stringing y'all niggas up, man. This shit ain't cool, man. Y'all doing too much, man. Hell hath no fury, man. The backlash gonna be a motherfucker. Y'all niggas always talking about karma. The backlash on this is gonna be a motherfucker, man. Leave people the fuck alone, you goddamn ingrates.
Suspects around 11 p.m. who tampered with her security camera. But her neighbor's camera caught the chilling moments when they returned, guns drawn, targeting her front door and garage just hours later. She says the gunman stole her car, her only transportation, right from her driveway. But the fact that they pointed guns at her home is traumatizing.
And then he stood here and held the gun at the garage, I guess in case anybody were to open the garage.
Think about that. If you come to the door, open the garage, they're gonna shoot you. And these niggas get caught and get out the next day. They get out, they get to come home the next day. In most cities. Most democratically run cities, these people get to get out the next day. Why do we follow the law, man? I should just start shooting niggas, man. Nigga pissed me off today, man. I should just start shooting these niggas, man. Why do I follow the law, man? I'm an asshole for following the law. I follow the law. I'm careful. I'm reasoned. I swallow my pride. I make wise decisions, man. Why am I doing that when these niggas get to do whatever they want? Why don't I just start blowing niggas' brains out?
And garage just hours later. She says the gunman stole her car, her only transportation, right from her driveway. But the fact that they pointed guns at her home is traumatizing.
And then he stood here and held the gun at the garage, I guess, in case anybody were to open the garage. We're in and out of the door at all times. We come and grab stuff out of the car. We come and bring the dogs out. So it's scary to know there was one person just standing right in our doorway. And you can see in the video, they're both just holding the guns up while he's backing the car up, and he jumps the curb, and the guy that was standing here with the gun jumps in with him. And then the guy in the white hoodie runs back and gets into the black vehicle, and they pull off.
She says what's worse, the stolen car held sentimental value. Her father just passed away less than a month ago, and in the car she had his belongings. She's begging the thieves to return the car, or at least her father's memories.
Find a way to turn your lives around and do the right thing.
Oh, God.
And if y'all have to, just take...
Turn your lives around, man. She don't know no better, man. She a Democrat, man. She gonna vote for Kamala. She gonna vote for the Democratic nominee in her mayoral election. She gonna vote for a Democrat congressman. She gonna vote Democrat everywhere. She a Democrat, man. She a fool, man. She a moron. So she's beyond help, man. I feel bad for her though about her dad passing, and then her all this stuff being in the car. That's sad, man.
To turn your lives around and do the right thing. And if y'all have to, just take the stuff that's out of the car and drop it off at a police precinct, or drop it somewhere I can find it. That would be appreciated too.
Yeah, they're going anywhere near a police precinct, baby. The thugs that just did whatever you just described in this news story, they're going near a police precinct, man, with with stolen property, man. You can bet you're about $1 on that, man. The only time, but it won't be until they get caught. And then they'll be out the next day.
She says the car is a gray 2-door Infiniti G37X with a broken passenger door.
Homie Waves is hitting, man. Shout out to homie with the waves, man. He got them Diddy waves, man.
Handle. So far, no arrests have been made. For your news leader in Cordova, I'm Alan Self, WREG, News Channel 3.
Hopefully some answers coming for her, Alan. Thank you. And if you know anything about this incident, you can call Crime Stoppers at 901.
Shit, I don't know a motherfucking thing, man. I ain't snitching. Fuck, I'm a snitch for, and the nigga gonna get out the next day. Y'all done de-incentivized snitching. Used to be you snitch because you ain't gonna have to see the motherfucker no more. Now you snitching, the motherfucker home the next day and shit. You know, what the fuck?
1-528 cash.
Our other top story here at 5. Heartbreaking new information in a shooting that took the life of a Detroit mother.
And we're learning this isn't the first time gun violence has impacted that family. The shooting happened around 8 last night at a home on Runyon Street. That's not far from the intersection with 7 Mile and Hoover. So we want to get out to our Sean Lay live tonight. Sean, the backstory here just compounds this horrible tragedy.
Salute to my man, Barry B, taking the $5 challenge. Barry B in the building, man. Yeah, man, y'all can support the channel if you want to, man, via PayPal, Cash App, or the Super Chat, man. Also, man, hit the like button, man. Hit the like button, man.
Correct. We're going to break that down for you, taking a moment here to take a step back and ask ourselves, how much can one family here take? We're talking about the family of Tasneem Sharad, young mom shot and killed last night, trying to de-escalate a situation between 2 teens at her home. Her 16-year-old was
trying to de-escalate a situation between 2 teens at her home. Listen, man, niggers are pestilence, man. I stay away from niggers, man. I ain't even gonna lie to you, man. Niggers are pestilence, man. Hard to deal with, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. Hard to deal with, man. They be ready to die, man. Ready to throw their lives away, man. A lot of these niggas we see in these stories, man, they ain't innocent, man. The ones that's dead, they ain't innocent, man. They were commiserating their own undoing, man.
Involved. He was shot. He's in critical condition tonight. At the same time, Tasmin was still grieving the shooting death of her 15-year-old son 2 years ago. Here's what we know right now.
2 males are in the middle of the street laying shot. Confirmed, 2 male shot. No ETA on that.
Detroit Police Radio allowing us to hear the urgency last night on Runyon on Detroit's east side just after 8 last evening. Shots fired, people down in the street.
Medics are 3 to 5 minutes out.
Today, we're digging into exactly what happened. Sources telling us that a mother and her 16-year-old son were arguing inside the home. Sources say the teen took out a handgun and put it on a dresser. Another teen walked by and grabbed the gun. That mom, 42-year-old Tasmin Sherrod, went after the teen. She was shot and killed. Her 16-year-old son was also shot. Because in 2022, digging into exactly what happened. Sources telling us that a mother and her 16-year-old son were arguing inside the home. Sources say the teen took out a handgun and put it on a dresser. Another teen walked by and grabbed the gun. That mom, 42-year-old Tasmin Sherrod, went after the teen. She was shot and killed. Her 16-year-old son.
Hold up, man. What the fuck?
Telling us that a mother and her 16-year-old son were arguing inside the home.
A mother and her 16-year-old son were arguing.
Sources say the teen took out a handgun and put it on.
The teen took out a handgun and put it on a dresser. I'm trying to follow this shit, man.
A dresser. Another teen walked by and grabbed.
Another teen walked by and grabbed the gun. Walked by. He was in the house. This is in the house, right? Was this happening? This looked like it might have happened outside. They're doing the investigation outside. The bullet. Hold on, let me see.
Here's what we know right now.
Press one if you're as confused as I am, man. I'm confused, man.
2 males are in the middle of the street laying shot. Confirmed, 2 male shot. No ETA on that.
Detroit Police Radio allowing us to hear the urgency last night on Runyon on Detroit's east side just after 8 last evening. Shots fired, people down in the street.
Medics are 3 to 5 minutes out.
Today, we're digging into exactly what happened. Sources telling us that a mother and her 16-year-old son were arguing inside the home. Sources say the teen took out a handgun and put it on a dresser. Another teen walked by and grabbed the gun. That mom, 42-year-old Tasmin Sherrod, went after the teen. She was shot and killed. Her 16-year-old son was also shot. Because in 2022, Tasmin lost her 15-year-old son, Robert Harris. He was shot and killed in a nearby gas station. Tasmin Sherrod spoke. He was shot and killed.
Talk about the fatal funnel. There's a lot of fatal funnels in Blackistan, man.
In a nearby gas station, Tasmin Sherrod spoke out then.
That was my baby. He was 15 years old. He wasn't nothing like that.
He was sweet. He was kind.
Tonight, police are looking into if this mom,
which means he was a gangbanger. He was a little menace to society. He was probably disrespectful and all that shit. He was probably in the mix of whatever was going on in his neighborhood amongst the teens that was off the porch. The wayward teens in his community, he probably was in the middle of all that shit.
Tasmin Sherrod spoke out then.
That was my baby. He was 15 years old. He wasn't nothing like that.
He was sweet. He was kind.
Tonight, police are looking into if this mom took those bullets last night to protect her son after losing a son just 2 years ago. You know, listening to our report right there and listening to Ms. Sherrod's voice 2 years ago with the heartbreak about her son, it just hurts the heart about this, looking at what happened last night. We've been checking in with Detroit police all day long.
Don't let that shit hurt your heart, white man. Don't let that shit hurt your heart, white man. There ain't no cure for this shit, man. This is a hopeless situation, man.
Often asking if there's any information about the teen shooter who ran away. So far, nothing solid to put out. We will put it out as soon as Detroit.
We begin tonight with a judge who makes life-altering decisions for families and those with disabilities, now accused of making racist comments and using shocking, derogatory language. Thank you for joining us for 7 News Detroit at 6. I'm Mike Duffy. 7 investigator Heather Catallo joins us now with more about why an Oakland County probate judge has been removed from her docket. Heather?
Mike, a high-ranking probate court official says he's been recording Judge Kathleen Ryan's statements for years. Even though probate court administrator Edward Hutton says he's been harassed by Judge Ryan, he says he does not want this to be about him. Hutton says he's coming forward now because he wants to protect the people who have to face Judge Ryan in the courtroom.
The Honorable Kathleen A. Ryan presiding. Good morning. You may be seated.
After more than 13 years on the bench, Oakland County Chief Probate Pro Tem Judge Kathleen Ryan is out of her courtroom. Chief Probate Judge Linda Hallmark removed Judge Ryan from her docket last week, announcing that a complaint about internal allegations of unprofessional conduct was sent to the Judicial Tenure Commission. Judge Ryan was arrested in 2021 for domestic violence, but those charges were later dismissed. And now she's back in the headlines.
Well, if you're black from any other country, you're doing way better. If you're an American black person, then you're a lazy piece of
Black jobs, man. Black jobs, man. Salute the superstar, man. SS. He says, overheard a Sun Man bragging about the time he and his brother beat the brakes off their dad because dad flashed rival gang signs in front of them. Yeah, man. Ah, memories. The good old days, man. Sons love bragging about hurting people, man. I used to be like that too, man. Bragging about doing bodily harm to people, man. No matter who it was, man. How weak they were or how feeble they were, man. Brag about that shit, man. That's like common conversation, man. Storytelling, man. About 50% of Sun's storytelling is them talking about how they either damage somebody physically, psychologically, or emotionally in the past, man.
The 7 investigators have obtained the recordings that county officials say prompted Judge Ryan's removal.
Oh, he's a I have no use for him.
She's made it a living hell in the past 6 years. I mean, it's been terrible. It's cost me relationships. I think it's affected my health. Can't sleep.
Attorney Edward Hutton is the Oakland County Probate Court Administrator. He's in charge of running everything that's not under the judge's purview inside one of the state's largest probate courts. Hutton alleges Judge Ryan has been calling him both during work and after hours for years. And Hutton says during those hours and hours of calls, Judge Ryan said highly inappropriate things.
Why did you start recording the calls?
I just felt like it wasn't going to change. Nothing's manipulated in it. It's conversations that I was a part of, and I'm absolutely willing to testify to the authenticity of every single one of them.
I can honestly say that, okay, I'm not systemically racist, I'm a new racist. I never was, but now I am because you're shoving the down my throat and making allegations that you don't know about. You're telling me who I am and you've never met me. You. You.
Hutton says the judge also used homophobic slurs about other elected officials.
You know.
And that's not all.
A lot of times they were conversations about sexual encounters that she's having with various individuals. I mean, in intimate detail.
Hutton says for years he felt like he had to play along. And he says for years he was afraid to speak up.
I didn't want to lose my job and I didn't want to be in her crosshairs. It's such a David and Goliath situation. I don't have the power. I'm not elected. I could get fired tomorrow.
On May 24th, Hutton says he sent Chief Judge Linda Hallmark a notice of sexual harassment.
For 3 months, nothing happened.
That's why on August 22nd, Hutton says he decided to send the recordings to the Chief Justice of the state Supreme Court, Oakland County Executive David Coulter, and other public officials. And he also contacted me.
I just want to make it right. I haven't filed a lawsuit. I'm not looking for a payday. I want to keep my job and do it in peace. And I want the people in Oakland County that come to court to get a fair shake, to have their day in court, to have an unbiased trier of fact.
In that email, Hutton said Judge Ryan, quote, has vocalized her hate and contempt for various protected groups. Once the recordings were shared with those state and county officials, Judge Ryan was removed from her docket. In a statement, County Executive Coulter said, quote, there is absolutely no place for harassment of any kind or for racist or homophobic language by anyone at Oakland County, especially by someone the public must be confident will act fairly and impartially. The alleged conduct and abhorrent comments made by Judge Ryan merited.
See, y'all, we exposing white women, corrupt white women politicians, man, judges and shit. Not just sisters, man.
Her removal from the probate court docket pending further investigation.
Is Judge Ryan fit to be on the bench?
Absolutely not. Nobody with that much hate in their heart for certain people or certain groups of people, I don't believe that they could possibly make fair, unbiased decisions regarding them.
I did reach out to Judge Kathleen Ryan to talk to her about this. Her attorneys sent me this statement that says, quote, we respect the authority of the Michigan Supreme Court. However, we look forward to vindicating Judge Ryan in the appropriate forum. I also spoke to probate judge Daniel O'Brien. He says Judge Ryan's friends are supporting her and believe these statements are totally out of character for her.
All right, certainly a lot here.
Wow.
Our other top story here at 5.
Wow. Let's see.
Was supposed to be the annual Labor Day Bloom celebration.
He loved music, and that was the purpose of him going to that particular spot that night. It was just to see his favorite artist.
If you love music, man, listen to your radio, man. Listen to your iPad or whatever the hell they call it. If you love music, man, don't listen to some jazz, man. If you like black music, listen to jazz, some shit like that. Listen. You gotta stay away from Suns, man. Suns are pestilence. They're vermin. We're vermin.
Was supposed to be the annual Labor Day Bloom celebration.
He loved music, and that was the purpose of him going to that particular spot that night. It was just to see his favorite artist.
Turned into a night of terror.
Had a call for a shooting, 1300 Russell Street. Somebody was shot.
That somebody, 22-year-old Tyreek Brown from Kingston, Jamaica, in the country, visiting family.
Gonna be inside 1300 Russell Street.
Medics tried to revive Tyreek, but it was too late. His cousin getting a frantic call.
When I answered the phone, he said, get dressed. They just called me. Tyreek's been shot.
Her and the other family members have the daunting task of identifying Tyreek at shock trauma.
You see these things on the news all the time, but you would never think that it will happen to your family.
Baltimore police haven't identified the man they say was shot and killed inside of a music venue near Ravens M&T Bank Stadium.
Tyreek's dad, back in Jamaica,
He didn't, grew up with his mom, just dad.
is struggling with the loss of his son and wanting answers.
Because there's no closure. He just wanted to know what happened, why his son.
Baltimore police have not identified a suspect or provided.
He want to know what happened, why his son got shot at a music venue, man. A lot of things could have happened, and now they're all seem stupid, but they're not really stupid. The reasons sons shoot each other are not really stupid. We'll get into that too, man. I'm gonna break it down. Let me drop the link, man. Please take the $5 challenge. Support the channel. We've been on for 3 days, man. No show for 3 days, man. We come back, y'all ain't hitting the like button. We looking crazy on the likes. We got, what, 4 people taking the $5 challenge, man. This is crazy, man. Let me see. What was I gonna do? Oh yeah, I was gonna drop the link. Oh. Put the link in the description box, man. Oh man, I'm tired, man. Salute the Persian cucumber. Yikes. Yikes. My man said Persian cucumber. Pause.
Provided a motive, telling Fox 45 on Thursday. The investigation is, quote, active and ongoing.
If you know anything, if you saw anything, if you hear anything on the street, please just reach out.
While the family waits for answers, their next steps is figuring out how to get Tyreek back home to his dad.
He was enrolled in college. He got a chance to come to America to visit. And I think he earned it. He earned it. Jamaica is hard. He had that opportunity to come visit, and he didn't deserve it. He didn't deserve what he got.
And again, Baltimore police have no leads in this case, no suspect, no motive. They're asking anyone with information to call Metro Crimes.
That dude got shot in a music venue around a bunch of people, and they don't have no motives and no suspects. Jeez. Sons of pest, man. They can't even help the police solve a case. They good for nothing. Yo, on the real, man, sons are good for nothing, man. They some good for nothing. Listen, if good for nothing was a person, it would be a son. They can't even help you solve a murder with 400, 500 people in one space. A body. Every fucking murder is a mystery in Blackistan, man. Shout out to Kimberly Ashcraft, man. Salute to the Asher, man. Kimberly Ashcraft. The best channel on YouTube, doubling up to make for lost time. Glad you're back. I'm glad you're back too, Kimberly, man. Salute to you, man. Thank you for your support, man.
Stoppers. Meanwhile, the family has set up a GoFundMe page to try to get Tyreek's body back to his dad in Jamaica. You can find that GoFundMe to the link to this story on our website, foxbaltimore.com. For now, we're live in Baltimore. Vincent Hill, Fox 45 News.
Yes.
I'm Kai Jackson. Thank you for watching. Here's another video to watch. Also, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel.
Yeah, man. Please take a moment to subscribe to my channel, man. Jeez, Fox.
And right now, a 16-year-old boy is charged with the murder of a Philadelphia rapper. That shooting happened last month in Olney. The 25-year-old rapper Abdul Vix, also known as YBC Duel, was killed. District Attorney Larry Krasner announcing those charges today.
He also says the teen suspect is connected to several other shootings. Jeff, what can you tell us?
Well, I can tell you that the country and this region appears to have a problem with young victims and young people shooting guns. Listen, prosecutors with the district attorney's office tonight are urging parents in the city of Philadelphia to search the rooms of their children to find guns there and call the police to have them taken away. This, as you folks have reported, as he charges a 16-year-old with double murder. In a light rain near a basketball court in Olney, DA Larry Krasner reports he's charged a 16-year-old with the killing of 2 and the wounding of others as part of a shooting group known as Fast Break.
A small group of young people in the city of...
Your name was Fast Break. God, dog. Showtime, the Showtime Lakers, man.
Fast Break.
A small group of young people in the city of Philadelphia made a decision to hold a gun, to point a gun at another human being and pull the trigger.
The alleged teenage shooter is Aiden Waters. The DA says he's the killer of 25-year-old rapper Abdul Vix in a shooting on the 5500 block of North Fair Hill Street in late August.
Now, this nigga was going to the cemetery and digging up people's graves and shit. So he played a part in his own demise, man. So, yeah, man, this is not like a lot of these murders in Blackistan, man. The person who gets shot is an asshole a lot of times, man.
He dug up someone's grave on video, put it on social media, making fun of the person.
Exactly.
In late August, investigators report they've linked Waters to a wave of shootings in Philadelphia last month, along with the murder counts. He faces attempted murder, aggravated assault, and gun charges.
It's called clout chasing. Is what we call it. It's what everyone calls it.
Clout chasing. Seriously.
Man, come on. He didn't deserve to die.
Dude.
Clout chasing is now a legal term.
It's called clout chasing. Is what we call it. It's what everyone calls it, I guess. You're looking for notoriety. You're looking to make a name for yourself.
Prosecutors say the guns used in the killings were illegal and one had a switch installed, allowing for multiple shots with one squeeze of the trigger. Prosecutors are urging parents to search their children's rooms for guns.
Recover the firearms that are in the homes, in the basements, under the rafters, call the police, tell them you found a gun in your house.
At 16, Waters is likely to spend much of his life in prison if convicted, while a city council member calls for early intervention for teens like him.
We need to find ways to get a hold of these clout chasers, these young people who are oftentimes doing things just to be noticed.
Once again, a 16-year-old charged with double murder in this case. The district attorney calls this a rapid response to violent crime. The alleged shooting occurred just last month. In the meantime, they are urging parents to help them with their efforts. Live in Olney, I'm Jeff Cole, Fox 29 News, folks.
All right, Jeff, thank you very much.
We begin with the KHOU 11 exclusive tonight. A difficult story. A woman is murdered just hours before signing divorce papers.
Yeah, her family is telling us the killer is connected to that breakup. Jason Miles live with the story you'll only see on KHOU 11 News tonight. Jason.
Good.
As you might imagine, this family is terribly upset tonight, telling me the victim was killed by her soon-to-be ex-husband.
You said what?
You gonna fall asleep again or what, Chief?
Nah, I'm cool.
Husband's new girlfriend. Surrounded by a supportive family outside her only daughter's house.
She has a 13-year-old and a 9-year-old.
Shamitria Richard spoke with us about 33-year-old Brittany and the night she died, too late for her mom to say goodbye.
When I touched her body close to 2 o'clock, she was cold.
According to Texas City Police, Brittany Richard was fatally stabbed around 12:30 last Friday morning inside this restaurant and bar, near the end of an evening that included several stops celebrating a cousin's birthday. Her family says the mother of 2 suffered 9 stab wounds.
No one child deserves to die like that. No one. And it's wrong, and it was horrific, and it was just terrible.
This week, 35-year-old Shanice Felder was arrested in Houston.
And you have the right to retain counsel. You have the right to remain silent.
This is video of her magistrate court appearance in the Galveston County Jail, where she's being held on a combined bond of $450,000 on 2 separate charges.
One is a charge of murder, and the other is a charge of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon.
Felder is also accused of injuring one of Brittany's cousins.
We're just trying to hold on to our last memories as being happy, loving on each other. We just want justice.
Her family says Brittany died the same day she was supposed to have signed divorce papers, and that Felder was her soon-to-be ex's girlfriend, adding the two women never had any prior altercations and that the attack inside the bar was unprovoked.
Wow. She looked like, yeah, I did it. Look at that look on her face. She looked like, yeah, like she ain't tripping off that shit. Like it was worth it. She got that, huh?
I wonder if her kids are better off with her in or out of jail. Same
It don't
difference, I
matter.
suppose.
No matter. These
Why
young
bother with
men-
the nails? I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, it just don't matter, man. Like these
Same
young men,
difference.
it is what it is. What's up?
That you know, remember that guy who was stabbed to death in Croydon? They've named the perpetrator. Released a photograph of him.
The guy who did what?
Machete in Croydon.
Shot in Croydon?
No, the 15-year-old girl that was killed with a machete on a bus.
Oh yeah.
They released a photograph of him and named him.
Oh wow. Yeah, I gotta see that.
Aggravated assault with a deadly weapon.
Felder is also accused of injuring one of Brittany's cousins.
We're just trying to hold on to our last memories as being happy, loving on each other.
And that the attack inside the bar was unprovoked.
If I can ask her anything, I would ask her why. And why that night.
It may take a trial before Brittany's family, including her 2 children, get the answers they want. And in addition to being a mother, Brittany Richard was also a popular employee for the city of Lamarck, of course, right next door to Texas City. The family says a vigil will take place in Lamarck next Thursday. Her funeral follows on September 14th. Her accused killer telling that magistrate in court that she planned to hire her own attorney. Reporting live tonight, Jason Miles, KHOU 11 News.
Jason Miles with the exclusive. Thank you.
Alrighty, y'all. So we had talked earlier about the NFL kickoff game, the Chiefs.
Ended. You left it in August of 2023. Does that sound right?
That's the hard conversation. That's not the.
We've covered this. Next question.
And you characterized it as a tough conversation, correct?
Yes.
I'm not going to get into the conversation per se.
Should.
Well, if he doesn't want to, we won't go there. So, Mr. Sadon, next question.
You know, it's kind of hard to say no when you've got that opportunity. But all I'm going to say is, was it pre-indictment in this case?
So
we know the timeline that the indictment was delivered.
so that
I'll
we're
give you
clear, the physical relationship ended pre-indictment.
And is that when you were talking about the tough conversation?
But I'm not sure that the tough conversation didn't happen until after, but the physical relationship. So I'm sure if you ask Mr. Wade, because he's a male, he would say we ended June or July because physical contact ended then. Just in my mind, being a woman, it's over when you have that like hard conversation. I just think women and men think.
She's such a good liar, man. God damn. She's an expert liar.
She wrote to her father. Do you remember seeing that?
I thought she was unraveling on the stand.
Did you see
she was lying her ass off?
You see what she wrote to her father to explain the money? It's a black thing. Funny cash is a black thing.
Yeah.
Think differently.
And I think the answer, Mr. Sadot, to your question was she's not sure whether it was before or after the indictment.
Well, I'm not sure that was her answer, but let's see if I can get specific.
That is what I said. That's what I said.
I'll let you. Next question, Mr. Sato. If you need to clarify.
Want to say one more? The romantic relationship ended before the indictment was returned. Yes or no?
To a man, yes.
Well, to a man, yes. To you, no.
She's explained this, Mr. Sato. She's explained this.
And did the forthcoming indictment have anything to do with that? Or was it just a coincidence?
Mr. Let's go on and have the conversation.
What is a man? I've just asked you whether or not it was a coincidence.
Had absolutely nothing to do with this. It's interesting that we're here about this money. Mr. Wade is used to women that, as he told me one time, the only thing a woman can do for him is make him a sandwich. We would have brutal arguments about the fact that I am your equal. I don't need anything from a man. A man is not a plan. A man is a companion. And so there was tension always in our relationship, which is why I would give him his money back. I don't need anybody to foot my bills. The only man who's ever foot my bills completely is my daddy.
All right, guys. So we got to talk about old Fannie Pack Willis, who once again is exposing herself in ways that could possibly destroy her RICO case against Trump, which is not going to happen before the election, okay, because of her affair with Nathan Wade, who she thought it would be a good idea to hire this guy to help her go after her political opponent, President Trump, and that backfired because that relationship created a conflict of interest that had to be resolved by the judge, forcing Fannie Willis to either remove herself from the case or to remove Nathan Wade, okay? And what was left after Nathan Wade was ultimately removed was an odor of mendacity, a strong odor of mendacity, aka that Fannie Willis is a liar, okay? She had been lying about the nature of her relationship with Nathan Wade when it began and whether or not it's still happening, right? With her to the site of her daughter's arrest, while at the same time she is fighting to keep her case alive, which could fall apart because there is evidence, strong evidence in my opinion, that this woman lied under oath, okay? That she lied about the nature of the relationship under oath, and she's continuing to lie. And again, I'm not entirely sure why Fannie is deciding to be so reckless, okay? But maybe she just doesn't care anymore, right? I think that's actually what's going on here, because what she actually really cared about is getting the trial to happen and getting a conviction before the election. Now that she knows that that's not going to happen, she might not give a damn anymore, right? This is why she's out here boo-hoo, whine, and cry racism, even though that's also a grounds for possible dismissal as well, too, because of what they call forensic misconduct, okay? Fannie Willis, boo-hoo, whine, and cry racism, accusing the defense of being racist, could take the jury pool. Most certainly, it's a possibility out there in Fulton County. And yeah, these are all the things that the Trump team is using in order to get rid of this case. Okay, so ultimately, this case may happen at some point after the election, but it could get thrown out. Okay, and Fannie Willis is not helping herself out, especially with situations like this. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to read about what happened so you guys get a better understanding of what happened. And I'm going to show you guys the video clip.
This is unreal that she would show up here. And listen, I can understand why she showed up, because she gets away with so much shit that she probably, her and Nathan probably be going to the grocery store, the movies. They probably always together.
But is it really unreal? Is it really unreal?
No, it's not unreal. It's unreal that, you know, people are this reckless, but we know that when you face no consequences, you do become more.
It isn't recklessness, it's arrogance. Democrats think they can get away with anything, and they do.
Yeah. She just roaming around with this dude after she just said he wasn't. They broke up like 4 years ago.
Well, I mean, the bar's in hell anyway, right? I mean, this demographic is not held to any fucking standard. They could do whatever the fuck. And
they do. But yeah, I don't even want to get into that, man, because that's just annoying.
Do you want to know why my video was banned?
Huh?
I uploaded a video on the 14th of February 2014.
Uh-huh.
And on September 3rd, they took it down. They said it was against terrorist organizations.
So they got you for a video 10 years old.
Yeah.
Gave you a strike on a 10-year-old video.
Yeah, but it's not, I mean, it's called My Valentine's Day Message to Lonely Hearts.
That's
nothing to do with terrorism.
crazy.
Absolutely ridiculous. And the same night, I'm lucky to be here. I nearly choked to death on a pickled onion.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no laughing matter. It's a big one, and would have been embarrassing.
Pause.
Would have been embarrassing to go out like that.
Who saved you, man?
Me.
Oh,
it's unreal, man. Jesus. Do you know that Daryl Brooks was back in court?
yeah, I heard. I saw that, man. I saw a snippet. I can't do no more Daryl Brooks, man.
Have you covered the case of the bloke who jumped the judge? He's in court as well now too.
Oh my God.
Darion something. He's on trial for attempted murder of a judge.
Wow. A lot going on in Blackistan, man.
All right, so this next story is all new at 6 tonight, and it's about a very brave teenager who took a bullet to save a stranger. This right here is 16-year-old Chase Lancaster. Last month, he was at a party with a few friends in Frederick County, Maryland, when someone started shooting. Well, Chase immediately jumped into the line of fire, shielding another girl. He survived and is now facing a long road to recovery. Tonight, our Leslie Moreno spoke to the teen's father about this heroic moment.
Tonight, 16-year-old Chase Lancaster, an honor student and football player, still in the hospital fighting for his life.
They didn't think he would survive 2 surgeries, and he survived 14 thus far.
On August 9th, Chase was at a party with friends at a clubhouse in the 3300 block of Galena Drive when shots rang out. His father, Alex Lancaster, says at some point during the shooting, Chase shielded a girl from gunfire, saving her life, but almost taking his.
The bullet came in through the back side of his upper chest area, hit his right kidney, completely destroyed his kidney. It also bruised and injured his liver.
Tonight, the Frederick County Sheriff's Office tells us Chase was not the intended target. WUSA 9 spoke to the family of the 17-year-old girl that walked out unharmed. They provided the following statement. Chase grabbed my daughter and pulled her behind before they ran inside. Chase saved my daughter from being the one that was shot. His family has been so kind to my daughter. We pray every day that Chase makes it through this terrible ordeal. No kid should have to live through what he has had to endure. We hope that the shooter is brought to justice.
So to see him in bed, even though he saved that young lady's life, still breaks my heart to see him in so much pain.
Tonight, the shooter remains free and Chase still in the intensive care unit with a long recovery ahead. He's lost over 100 units of blood. His father says he'll have to learn to walk and talk again, but there's a silver lining.
He's not a victim, he's a hero. And so I'm very thankful for the young man he's growing into. I'm so thankful for the courageous act he performed. And my heart is still broken for all of his injuries.
The family has also set up a GoFundMe page to help with hospital expenses. A portion of those donations will go towards a reward for any information leading to an arrest. If you'd like to make an impact, you can head to WUSA9.com. In Frederick County, Les Moreno, WUSA 9.
Damn, nobody in custody.
Selma.
Yo, y'all can take the $5 challenge. $5 done turned into like $1,000 in this motherfucker like the last month, man. We done dropped.
It's tough out here, dog.
Huh?
It's tough out here.
I tell you, man. You tell them. It's tough out here, man. It's the grocery store's fault. They price gouging, man. It ain't Biden's fault. Or Kamala.
Caramel Harris gonna fix all that.
But what do you think, Fish? What do you think? Like, can people support a little more or not really? What do you think, President Fish?
It's not up to me.
Well, no. I'm asking for a simple opinion. Is all.
Of what? Man, whether they should give more money?
Well, I mean, I had those out of a fucking job. I think you would agree, right? I don't know. No
Yeah,
comment.
guys,
All right,
take the $10 challenge.
my man. There you go. That's it. That's all, fish. We
Yeah,
love
why
you
you
over
say
here.
it like a juice crew, man? You sound like a miserly juice crew. When you said that, man.
No, if it was Juice Crew, I'd be like, take out a loan.
Jeez.
High
Take out a
interest
loan,
rate.
pay interest for 60,000 years.
Once Kamala Harris is in office, we're all gonna have so much money. It's just gonna be flowing in for you.
Yeah, she's gonna fix everything, man.
Alabama, a typical rural town in the southern United States. But this town has a special place in the history of the country. It was here in the 1960s that one of the most significant chapters in the struggle against racial segregation in the United States was written. Selma has since been closely associated with the history of emancipation of African Americans. Segregation, for a time banned by law, is making a return in Selma. The town is once again cut in two. To the east, the poor neighborhoods where the black population lives. To the west, the upscale neighborhoods with their well-tended golf courses and luxurious houses where the white folk live.
Wow.
This split between the rich and poor, between white and black, is not unique to Selma. But here, the separation has extended to a part of life no one would have imagined. In Selma, children now attend schools according to the color of their skin.
Unfortunately, today, school systems are more racially segregated than previously.
As the first black president is leaving the White House, the myth of an America where the color of a person's skin is no longer important lies in tatters.
We just need to open our eyes and our ears and our hearts to know that this nation's racial history still casts its long shadow upon us.
This is old. Oh yeah, this ain't even oh, this says 8 months ago though. It says 8 months ago. What?
Isn't this what Democrats
We know
want?
the march is not yet over. We know.
Don't we want segregation? Why do you want the white man oppressor like
good or
in your
bad?
neighborhood keeping you down? You know.
They just want his stuff. They don't want him. They want a slave.
Yeah. You want all the cool stuff, not all of it. We want the cool stuff. We don't want the responsibility. We don't have to like.
Yeah, we want golf courses, but we don't want to have to pay memberships, and we don't want to have to do what it takes to build one.
Or maintain it. Or maintain
Yeah,
it.
maintain the grass and the holes, balls, and all the and all just what they call the person, the groundskeeper. We don't want to be the groundskeeper.
Yeah, they have like full-time jobs. They have like whole college degrees just for golf courses.
Yeah.
Think about this.
Age levels.
They'll call it racism if like banks don't lend racial groups money. But it's like, why does another group owe you a job or money or this or that? Like, the only thing, like, oppression is someone getting in your way, stopping you, not refusing to help you. Like, as long as
They don't know how to do it themselves. Their only mode or means of their only means of getting a first world standard of living, and the only way they found to do that is to guilt trip gliders.
That's all of our problems.
Yeah. Yeah, we got y'all by the kahunas, man. We found a way to do that, and like we found y'all weakness.
But for the longest, I mean, we've seen videos around here.
Do you think blacks were happy around
70s,
the
80s, where some people been using that same card. There was a video we saw here like in 1986, and the New York City subway, the fucking cops were fucking black. The conductor was black. The news anchor was black. Arguably, I'm sure the offender was black. What has changed, Chief? They've been lying to us, dude.
Do you think blacks were happy under Jim Crow in the South?
That's Jesse Lee Peterson.
Well, it was only the so-called civil rights movement. It's all these people came down from the north. I won't say what ethnicity they are, because I don't want to be called anti-Semitic. But they came down, and it was only then that blacks realised how oppressed they were.
Man, y'all been having them by. I bet you in Jim Crow they had them by the balls too. I guarantee you, some people had the glass by the balls during Jim Crow.
That'd be crazy.
We be victims and shit.
Well, a lot of people are calling it modern slavery. Does that feel right?
I was just about to say that's slavery. That's slavery. You took
No,
away the
it's
whips,
not.
but you put the paperwork. Took away the masters and you put them in uniform.
Disgusting.
Same difference. Same difference.
It kind of appears that there is a coordinated system in order to protect the labor that's created by the prison system.
Walk into a McDonald's in Alabama, and the worker flipping your McDouble could be an incarcerated person. It's a sad situation of where they getting rich off us. The Alabama Department of Corrections farms out in.
You're muted, Ak. We can't hear you.
It's a sad situation that they getting rich off the people they committed crimes against, man. That's sad, man. Talking about it's a sad situation. Nah, it ain't that sad, man.
And of course, it's a liberal white woman.
Hundreds of private companies and government agencies across the state.
McDonald's, Burger King, Golden Corral, Wendy's. They got a Wendy's contract right now. State Trooper's office.
Hey, hold up.
They'll send everybody everywhere.
They'll send you everywhere. Yes, the pro.
That's a beautiful woman, man.
All these some people
They'll
are still
send
gonna go
everybody-
eat this food. This isn't gonna change anything. They're gonna eat all the fast food, same as they always do.
Yeah, man. That's one rough looking sister, man. I like her hair though. The bottom part, this part.
That's Flavor Flav right there.
Man, that's Miles Davis, man. What you talking about?
They'll send you everywhere. Yes, the parole office.
And even though ADOC trusts these incarcerated people to leave prison every day and work alongside the general public, many of them are still denied the chance at real freedom.
I work for y'all, but when I come up from parole, you deny me. Why would you deny me? Because you're getting free service.
This is a story about corporations and the state of Alabama exploiting prison labor and the coercive policies they use to keep its citizens trapped in servitude. It doesn't work. It's a terrible system. If you're wondering how any of this is even legal, well, it might not be. That's what we went to Alabama to figure out.
I thought it for integrating them back into the community.
So yeah, could you just describe like how long you worked here and?
I was here 18 months. That I ran their kitchen by myself. From 8 to 5 every Tuesday through Thursday.
Wow,
yeah.
That sounds like hard work.
It was.
Elizabeth Thomas was in the Alabama Work Release Program for 5 of her 15 years in prison.
So they had a combination of incarcerated people and free world people.
Yes.
Did you feel like there was a difference how they treated?
Oh, most definitely. We work longer hours.
Make the work release work over, work extra days, don't want to give you off days. Like, no, I got to eat my health. I have to get ready.
Need an off day for you in prison, man. You should want to get out and go into the world every day. What you want, an off day to hang around in your cell?
Play cards. Do some
I don't think they're
Incarcerated people. They're incarcerated people.
Can't they
You got
decline their labor,
PlayStation
though?
in there.
Well, they let them out and they're slaves.
No, I think in prison they can literally just choose to like stay in their. They don't have. Most people choose to do it because they have nothing else to do.
Well, they get paid for it, don't they?
Yeah, they're not
Well, very
slaves.
little, but I think they can just choose. Like if they wanted to, they could just do their time and like not work in the system.
A lot of people work in prison. You know, what I mean, one of the best jobs in prison is the kitchen, and it's that 6 days a week, long hours. But it's called a bird killer. I don't know how it is in the States, but in British prisons, it's a privileged job.
Wow.
Chris, you know what I'm saying? I'm not a machine, but that's how they look at you. Like,
This is Quincy Sanders. During his nearly 17 years in prison, he worked at several restaurants, a lumber yard, and McDonald's.
like working.
You was lucky, man. It's dudes. It's like a waiting list for them type jobs in prison, man. Dudes gotta have good behavior and shit, and be model inmates just to get eligible for that type of shit to leave jail, man.
Isn't this typical? This response from this brother. What a typical brother right here.
Well, if that woman was through a 15-year sentence, she spent 5 of them walking outside. There's a big element of trust there, obviously.
Yeah, man. This is crazy, man. This is nasty work.
In a real job and trying to be incarcerated is a very hard experience. You have to be mind strong, really.
Alabama has one of the most overcrowded and deadly prison systems in the United States. Even the Justice Department found conditions there to be unconstitutional.
I wonder why.
In 2023, almost a person a day died in Alabama prisons, which is almost 5 times the national average.
Or they might get beat to death.
I wonder
People
why.
beating folks with sticks. They breaking broomsticks, making little billy clubs. People in there stabbing each other. People in there doing drugs. People in there almost about to die. They're not giving you no nursing assistance. The nurse probably get there. You probably be dead.
But ADOC offers people in prison with nonviolent misdemeanor convictions a potentially life-saving deal. If they join the work release program, they get to live in special facilities that are generally much less dangerous than regular prisons. They spend their days working in the free world without prison supervision, and they can earn 72-hour passes to visit their families at home.
Yeah, and they complaining. These niggas are complaining.
Right. She was just complaining. She claimed slavery, and now it's privilege. Back up your mind, you dumb bitch.
Yo, I'm surprised the liberals ain't complaining that why can't the violent motherfuckers also get a piece of this?
Yeah,
Discriminating against them. Fuck out of here.
Why does violence exclude you from that's what they call it, racism or
discrimination or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, discrimination. Yeah.
Like we are
against violent motherfuckers.
You go out and you do the right thing. You get to elevate.
Yeah, that's nasty work, man.
I mean, the group act that is allowing all these violent, dangerous immigrants just fucking coming here by the masses. Of course, they will advocate for some nonsense like that.
Yeah, man, it's wrong, man. And this woman, she should be able to be Miss America, man. You know what I'm saying? Why can't she be Miss Universe, man?
Right,
they should have paid her.
I say put her on the Ravens.
Yo, she just
Let her
might
get fucked up.
She just might be Miss Universe one day. I tell me not.
Yeah, man.
Beauty is subjective, man.
You get to grow, you get out of this facility. But what you didn't tell me is that you finna get all my money. That's what they didn't tell you.
The state takes a 40% cut of every incarcerated worker.
Okay, yeah, but we taking you here, there. We giving you the job while you in prison. We shuttling you back and forth. We responsible for your behavior. We're reliable for your behavior, reliable for your actions. We monitoring you. The state is doing a lot, man. So it's like, and listen, even if they didn't do all that, right? Just be happy you ain't in that motherfucker.
Well, they're all volunteers anyway, so
Right. Throw ass back in there. Fuck you. Next.
State's housing them, right? I mean, you're in prison, so we're feeding you, housing you. You need to give something back if you're working.
Yeah, these people are nuts.
Yeah.
This is Sun logic.
Volunteering to be a slave. I can't let it go, can I? I can't let this slave garbage go. Can never
Fuck all the other real slaves out there.
Right. Actual literal slaves. Like, if we crunch the numbers, this bitch will end up owing.
So They these like woke Democrats, man, they don't care about slaves and real slaves in other countries. They don't. I mean, they don't give
Right.
two shits.
That's crazy.
Workers' wages off the top before taxes, plus an additional $5 a day for van rides to and from work, $15 a month for laundry, and then
Yeah, let me tell you something, man. Laundry costs more than $15 a month on the free world, man. Free, what they say, free world persons, whatever the fuck you did. Yeah. I used to do my laundry at the laundromat
Laundromat.
before I got a washer here, man.
The game
Yeah,
changer.
it's more than $15 a month, man. You guys getting a good deal, man. And then what's the other one? What they say? 40% fee. Hold on.
workers' wages off the top before taxes, plus an additional $5 a day.
$5 round trip. Yeah, man. How much do the bus pass cost in your town, man?
Man.
Oh,
It's
$5,
more than that.
right? Huh?
It's more than this shit right here.
To get back
Think
and
about how
forth.
ridiculous this is that we're giving all of this shit to people that are prisoners. Like, this is the most first world bullshit complaining you could ever imagine.
Right. You made a good point in the video you dropped earlier, right? About prisons, I think in Latin America. In those prisons, you're wearing the clothes that you came in with. That's what you're
Yeah.
wearing, and you're gonna have to figure out how to wash it. Someone's gonna have to send you detergent because they're not gonna give it to you in there. Here in America, they're washing your shit, they're fucking ironing, they're folding it for you, prepping it for you. Fuck out of here, dude.
And they're complaining the whole time. Whining. Like, they ain't complaining. These motherfuckers is whining. They done found some liberal white woman and they whining about
Day
it.
for van rides to and from work, $15 a month for laundry, and then any restitution and court fees.
If your check is $636, you might see two something out of that. And that's every 2 weeks. And you done work 80 hours and only seen $200.
Yeah, but look, what you got to do in there, man. A prison job, the jobs they pay, you get paid like 30 cents an hour in prison for working in the kitchen and shit, or working on a detail in prison. Here you get to leave, man. You get to mac on bitches. These motherfuckers having families. They probably cracking bras that work at the McDonald's.
Oh, yeah.
Babies and shit. These motherfuckers, what is these niggas complaining about?
They're probably sneaking in drugs, making money in there. Come on,
Smoking weed on break.
Yeah, they probably leaving, the job. They probably getting in cool with the manager and shit. He probably fucking the manager. Like, set me up with a day, like, and I'm gonna say that I work, but I'm really gonna be off, and I'm gonna just be out on the town and shit. They got the mall and shit.
Right. Yo, I guarantee you someone's getting drugs in there from this.
Oh, definitely. Without a doubt. Whatever in there, cell phones, anything.
Exactly.
Like it makes you lose motivation because money motivates people, especially working. So it kind of makes you lose motivation.
One estimate calculated that the state of Alabama enjoys a benefit of more than $450 million a year off of prison labor.
And it's slavery all the way around the board, just slavery.
And unlike free world workers, incarcerated workers can't just get a shift covered or quit.
ADOC has a list of rules that
God.
incarcerated people
Of
are
course, bro.
by.
Put that woman
Bro.
in chains.
I hate white women so
You could
much.
quit.
Slave her.
You could definitely quit, bitch. What are you talking about?
Hold on, where's she at?
Covered or quit.
ADOC has a list of
Yo, she's straight out of
rules
Central
that
Casting, man.
Right. Where's the blue hair at though?
Yo, she is. Yo, that's how they
Tell you,
look
man.
in real life too.
You can't let any society that has given women political power and sexual liberation collapses every single time.
Fucking man. That's the root cause of all these problems. Just so
That is 100% the root cause of all of this.
People
If
can
women
live.
had no political power, none of this would hold any water.
Interesting.
People have
We would
lived
have public executions. Everything would be totally different.
Yeah, these racial problems would be nothing. I mean, in a society where powers in the hands of just the male population, that we sort out our differences so that it doesn't resort to violence all the time.
Well, what about the monarchies that had females at the forefront?
They were still male-dominated societies.
But the queen was the queen, right? She
Yeah,
was the
but
one.
So female rulers could be just as malicious as male were. I mean, Elizabeth I was just as bad as her dad, Henry VIII. She had some bloke's handcuff, I think, pamphleteer.
Yeah, I think they said Isabella was a bitch too to the Muslims.
one thing I want to point out is that there's people who've committed no crimes at all that are working for free every day right now, living in the Salvation Army just so they have somewhere to live, which is essentially the same thing that these people are doing in prison, except they committed crimes to get there. So.
Yeah, they said that Queen Isabella, she expelled the Jews crew and the Muslims out of
No
Spain.
shit.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, right? From Spain, Aragon.
The Reconquista.
Yeah, La Reconquista, right? Where they pushed out the Moors and the Jews crew, and that was a female, right?
The Muslims ruled Spain for a long
For a
time.
while. Yeah, it kind of gives you a perspective. As long as they ruled it, dude. I mean, it gives you perspective. But how do you explain that one, guys? That was a female at the forefront, right? But I agree with you though, Fish. Generally speaking, you're not wrong. I mean, I guess a broken Clyde, yada yada.
Yeah, you got to look at it from like the regular person's perspective. It's not like just the top person. It's like
right,
like a regular family. Like back then, women couldn't really survive on their own. They needed to be in a man's house just to like have shelter and food and stuff. So men just had the power, just generally in society.
Can you imagine if this bitch here on the screen was like the queen of sorts? Like she was the one like deciding shit, everything? How fucking what a fucking Mad Max scenario that would be.
She's gonna end up on her head on a pike.
100%.
We're like one step away from that happening.
But her society will be on that pike with her, dude. Like it will go down the drain. It would be a fucking free for all, right? It's not looking good right now, dude. It's like it feels kind of lawless, Or maybe it's just me. I don't know.
In certain areas, and it's only going to get worse in those areas.
I think the police have kind of put their hands up and just, they're just observers now.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I'm glad you said that, bro. I wanted to say to any cop listening right now, from the bottom of my heart, hands up, don't shoot. No? Okay. Never mind, guys. Carry on oppressing people of color, you scumbags. Shout out to all the I Nation listening too, especially the ones working right now. If you're at work, shout out to you, man. Hit the super chat. What do you think, Fish? It's lawless. It's not a lawless land.
It's in some parts, and it's going to get worse in heavy blue areas for sure. And then eventually, when all that's hell, the leeches are going to find their way into the red conservative areas, and they're going to try to do the same thing. The only thing that's going to actually solve any of this will be violence.
Yeah, I mean, it's just incredible the shit that, I mean, look, these 3 days that Ak was gone, whatever how long it was, just hearing like the rhetoric like that's in the outside of this bubble, it's just overwhelming to keep hearing this nonsense about like some people being victims, you know? It just I don't understand it. Like how can that narrative hold? How is it possible? You know?
You got
I was
people believe a man can be a woman or like get pregnant and stuff. I mean, I think there was what's her name? There was the prime minister of Italy. She gave this speech where she said, she quoted some guy and she said that like there will come a day where like swords will be drawn that grass is green and fires will be kindled that 1 + 1 is 2, and that time is now. In her speech. So yeah, man, it's like people will just deny like obviously observable truth.
There's a bloke in Ireland being sent to jail for, he did 2 or 3 jail sentences for refusing to call a transgender child. Indeed, he's a bloke, Enoch Burke. Look him up. It's absolutely scandalous.
I mean, that one law in California or whatever that says that teachers don't have to tell parents about like the sexual orientation of their kids or something. It's fucking outrageous.
Insane.
Crazy. I was listening to an alderman here in Chicago, right? Mind you, this guy is a fucking nut job fish, right? Crazy motherfucker. He's talking about how, and he's passionately talking about on the floor how we should do a 3% tax on millionaires in Chicago to fund the migrants. Think about that. How dumb is that, dude? That everyone should pay.
I mean, most politicians don't understand economics at all. Like most politicians have never run a business. They know very, very little about how the real world actually works. All they've ever done is spend their time getting degrees and begging for money.
They're dominating, dude. They're dominating the political sphere, fish. At least, I mean, here they are. You know, it's crazy, dude. And not just here, you know that, but these people that you just described, fish.
Yeah, I mean, like you're in peak retarded clown world where you live.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, but you're in Alabama, so you really don't have much ground to stand on, you know. We both.
No, we were very different. Like that shit, like all this woke stuff.
Yeah.
Does not fly the same down here.
But you're Mobile, right? I imagine Mobile is another shithole.
No, like it's shitty because there's violent blacks, but like all the wokey woke stuff, there's a lot of pushback against a lot of that.
Well, you
and
know,
we don't have like politicians giving diatribes about bullshit like that.
Yeah, we have that. Oh, we have that. We have a lot of that. I get what you're saying. Wow.
I think that's all you guys have.
We have a lot of it, but like I said, I just don't understand it. So when I've been gone and just hearing that narrative without hearing the pushback that I gives in this bubble, it's just like, oh, it's nauseating, dude. You know, it's like pent up frustration. You know.
Salute to Deluxe 247, aka Calvert, and aka the real MVP, coming through once again. Supporting the channel once again. Shout out to Deluxe, man. Yeah, man, you can support the channel via PayPal, Cash App, or the Super Chat.
That all incarcerated people are expected to abide by rules like don't have contraband, be in your bunk at the required time, and rules like don't refuse to work. That's a rule on the books.
CJ Sandley is one of the attorneys behind a recent lawsuit filed against ADOC.
The range of punishments folks can face if they get written up for refusing to work include solitary confinement, losing access to phones, tablets, visitation, access to their families and loved ones for like 30 days, 60 days, being required to do more work inside the prison walls for free, under threat of punishment.
I want to talk.
Yo, listen to
They
all the
should
shit
quit.
they got, yo. They're like, this isn't prison. Listen to all the shit they got. They basically free. They're on
Losing
probation.
access to phones, tablets, visitation, access to their families and loved ones for like 30 days, 60 days, being required to do more work inside the prison walls for free, under threat of punishment.
I want to talk to my family. I want to be a part of my family. And you're telling me that if I don't go and do what you want me to do at these jobs, work as hard as they want me to do, if they need me 7 days, you want me to go there 7 days. If they need me 80 hours, you want me to work 80 hours. If they want me to turn around and come back and do a double, you want me to get up and you want me to be
That's called
available to
life,
do all
motherfucker.
this.
We all do it.
But if I decide I'm tired, Lord forbid if we got sick.
I talked to Reginald Burrell, who was injured when an entertainment center fell on his head at the private furniture manufacturing company where he worked through ADOC. When he spoke up about it, he was fired.
And, I confronted the JPO about it, and they shipped me to Sheltersburg with extra duty, taking away my privileges, and I ended up in a landfill. I just got assaulted and mistreated at this job, and now I'm ended in a landfill working for free.
He got assaulted by a fucking entertainment
One of the
system.
most valuable things in the system is whatever I can do to get out early. If a work stoppage to protect myself from being abused and to speak up for myself could subject me to sanctions, I don't have to say it, but you're going to follow whatever order you're given.
Chris England is a state representative in Alabama. He's leading the fight to reform the state's prison system.
It is a completely broken system. The folks in charge, the parole board, they don't use guidelines. There is no methodology applied to it.
Alabama has some of the lowest parole grant rates in the country.
And more than 90% of the time, hearing this answer.
Denied, 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 be denied. Parole will be denied.
If the parole board followed its own guidelines, it would grant parole in about 80% of cases. But instead, that number dropped to just 8% last year. And incarcerated people in the work release program don't fare much better.
I know that there are people at the Department of Corrections, they assess them, and then they say, you are not a threat. So much so, that you can leave here and go work. Some people actually go home for 72 hours on a weekend and are told, we trust you to the point where you do whatever you got to do. We'll see you Monday morning, 8 o'clock. That same person goes before the parole board and they say, what you did 20 years ago is so bad we can't let you out. You're a threat to public safety, but make sure you're at work tomorrow morning.
A federal lawsuit claims that 235 people in the work release program were denied parole in fiscal year 2022.
So if the system is operating as designed, what is the point of the system?
It appears labor is.
One thing our lawsuit talks a lot about
We're arguing over 235 people.
Vice president, man.
But no one was complaining when they committed these crimes to end up in these situations. Wow.
Who cares if they're a threat to public safety or not? That's not what. If you killed someone, but you're never going to kill someone again, that doesn't matter. You need to be punished for that. That's why you're in prison. If you're the nicest, most friendly person in the world, but you hurt someone, you need to be punished for that. We don't care if you're trustworthy or not.
It's called paying your debt to society.
You are muted if you're talking on.
Just look at that picture, man.
For real.
These two.
I think the chick on the left just wants to hook up with the other one.
Here, kitty, 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 kitty.
It's a pretty ambiguous person.
One thing our lawsuit talks a lot about is that very clear lineage from slavery in the state to convict leasing and to what we've got now. And the punishment by the Department of Corrections is what our clients are challenging, because that's what amounts to involuntary servitude and slavery by the state.
After the Civil War, the 13th Amendment abolished slavery with a key caveat. Forced labor was still allowed for people convicted of a crime, and the states adopted a copycat of this federal amendment. But here's the thing. In 2022, Alabamians made a historic vote to remove this exception.
The state has a new constitution. Voters overwhelmingly agreed to make our state constitution free of racist laws and language.
However, right after the voters of the state changed the state constitution, the governor and the Department of Corrections really doubled down on the punishment for refusing to work.
So the people closed the loophole and then the governor went around to open it up again, basically.
Yeah, that's right.
Governor Kay Ivey's executive order made encouraging or causing a work stoppage a high-level violation, on the same level as possession of a weapon, drug possession, and bribery. The order also cracked down on correctional incentive time,
It's just
better known as
anti-union.
good time. In some prison systems, good behavior is rewarded with what's known as good time. People can earn sentence reductions and get released from prison early.
And the state legislature even changed its good time law to increase that form of punishment for folks who refuse to work.
We're simply changing the amount of correctional incentive time or good time days that are offered.
Are we increasing or are we lowering it?
We are lowering them.
All of this was done on the heels of this constitutional change, and frankly, it's a brazen ignoring of the will of the voters of the state, and that's what our lawsuit is about. And so many people want to work, but they want to be paid fairly. They want to be paid a free world wage for the labor they're doing. They want
Wow.
Free.
How are you that stupid?
She's laughing at it. You can hear her.
Yeah,
she
you're not
couldn't help
free.
but laugh.
This is crazy, man.
This is
wanna
just
be
stupid
working
women
in
logic.
safe conditions. They want to be treated fairly, and they don't want to be forced to work if they don't want to, or they can't because they're sick, or they have a doctor's appointment,
I
or
don't wanna be
they're
forced to go to
feeling
prison
unsafe
if
in
I
their
hurt
work
someone.
and they want to change jobs.
You lost all those,
One
right?
of the unique things about this state and really the country is that things just never end. They evolve. If your prison system is full, it's primarily full of black folks, black men, and you have a racial disparity in who gets released and who doesn't. Can you imagine the optics of what that labor force looks like?
Black people account for just over a quarter of Alabama's total population, but more than 50% of the prison population.
What does that tell you, bitch?
Here we go again.
No.
Nothing at all.
Is this black people or black men? How many black women are doing it? They love these statistical games, don't they?
Well, the point more than that, Alex, is the fact that it's brothers committing crime and they're kind of glossing over that.
They never complain about the number of black jazz musicians or the number of black football players, do they? It's absolutely ridiculous.
They act like they're born in prison, like little babies in prison.
They act like it's a bad thing that the prison has mostly black people. Yeah, it's a bad thing. Why are they committing so much crime? It's like it's not
like it should literally be like 75% of the prison population.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they actually followed through and got their man every time, it would be much higher.
80%.
That's a good point. Can you imagine that, Ike, if the system captured every criminal? How many brothers were being
if there was never no 5 people shot, 2 killed, no one in custody, police are asking the community to help. If they always helped, if the community ever fucking helped and shit, it would be like 80%.
I don't think we could budget for that. How many prisons we would need?
Yeah, man. We got a lot of land though, man. We got a lot of land, man, on the side of those damn highways and parkways.
Yeah. We also got a lot of ocean. I'm just saying.
We could build 1 million prisons, man. Yeah, man. Plenty of time, plenty of land for prisons, man.
Look, I would say rope is racist, so the guillotine. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Make sure you support the channel, guys. I mean, shit, man. Y'all want me to be on here 4 hours a day for $20 and shit? That shit is very hard to keep doing every fucking day, man.
Population. An AL.com investigation found that Black men were 25% less likely to get parole than white men.
If you could take a picture of a group of men who are working convict labor decades ago and juxtapose that next to a current labor force, it would probably look the same.
Yeah, and if you took a labor force from 8 million years ago, it would look the same. Motherfuckers with shovels digging up shit. What's your point?
That was the best he had.
What do they do in African prisons? They complain about racism, isn't it?
So, what is the point of prison? Is it the creation of a cheap, controllable, and confined labor source? Or is it rehabilitation? And what does a real commitment to rehabilitation for incarcerated people actually look like?
I wish they'll strip that name off of that Alabama Department of Correction. I wish they'll take correction out of that and just say Alabama Department, because ain't no correction. Ain't no correction, ain't no
correction.
Just blaming somebody else for everything you've ever done. I mean, this is female logic, though. Like, women don't take accountability for anything, and our systems are reflecting the fact that they have political power. Like, that's all this is. It's all female language.
It's the 2 rules of feminism. Rule 1, a man is always to blame. Rule 2, if in doubt, refer to rule 1.
Yeah.
no structure, ain't no discipline. You discipline me to do what you want me to do, not the law. Not to come back in society and be able to live off of what you taught me. That's not what's going.
Nah, that ain't Flair. That's a little Boosie, man.
That's a love child of Flavor Flav and Boosie. I do see
if
Boosie.
I lived off what DOC taught me, I'd still be a criminal.
Yeah.
Because they want that paycheck. They want me to come back in tomorrow. They want me to. Because they money keep flowing.
I know that's right.
It's no correction. We need to start correcting. We need to start loving. We need to start teaching.
You need to stop committing crime.
Get that
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yeah, that part.
Fucking sob stories. You're gonna go try to flip the script. Oh, we need to love. We need to do this. Yeah, stop committing the fucking crime.
Yeah, man.
I gotta go to bed. Catch you later.
All right, man. Take it easy, man.
You start loving murderers. That's what we need to do.
Oh. Let's see.
Assaults and robberies. He tackled me and then punched me in the head. Carjackings and shootings.
It can't just be committing crimes and just being slapped on the wrist.
Juveniles committing crimes in Maryland has been a problem for years. Lawmakers and prosecutors continue to debate the best way to get it under control.
How do you feel about that proposed legislation?
I would be opposed
to any changes when it comes to charging.
I'm going in depth on the issue and what's being done to address it. Thank you for joining us on this week's edition of Fox 45 News in Depth. I'm Mackenzie Frost. Each week, I'll be taking a deep dive into the issues that matter most to you. Today, the focus is juvenile crime. With the next legislative session still months away, the battle is already brewing over juvenile crime laws in Maryland. Over the past few days, we have seen several examples and incidents involving juveniles as both the suspects and victims. In Baltimore County, 6 teens are facing charges for 2 robberies. Police say they also found a handgun and ammunition in one suspect's car. 4 of those teens are being charged as adults. And here in Baltimore City, police confirm a juvenile was killed in an officer-involved shooting in southwest Baltimore. BPD says the juvenile ran from officers who chased him up North Stricker Street. According to police, the juvenile then pulled out a gun and several officers opened fire. These recent incidents are just the latest examples of ongoing juvenile crime across the state. Fox 45's Vincent Hill takes a look at some of the biggest headlines in Baltimore City.
For the better part of a year, Baltimore Police Commissioner Richard Worley calling juvenile crime a struggle to get under control.
Unfortunately, we find young people committing more violent acts now with handguns.
It was a double shooting of a 14 and 16-year-old last Easter Sunday, causing the mayor to take swift action.
We are going back to the old days. We will be enforcing the youth curfew in Baltimore as we move into the latter spring and summer months.
But those words did little to curb juvenile crime. From a robbery in Butcher's Hill.
He tackled me and then punched me in the head and I got kicked. I was afraid I was going to get shot because you just don't know.
To an attempted carjacking in Federal Hill.
They had a whole scheme going. One grabbed my keys, the other one sucker punched me twice.
To a stolen vehicle in Northeast Baltimore.
How was you going to step on the pedal? How was you going to hit the brake? How was you going to see over the console?
We've heard from victims who say there's been no limit to the brazenness and no sign of fear of the consequences.
They had a screwdriver. They could have stabbed me if they really wanted to, you know? That's not okay.
Something must be done. I mean, it can't just be, committing crimes and just being slapped in the wrist.
They're laughing at these politicians' face.
And it's not just crimes of opportunity. Last September, a 12-year-old was shot outside of a Dunbar High School football game. Police later arresting a 15-year-old 1 month later in October.
Yo, this is a rough way to live, huh?
Game over, man.
Talk about fucking sucky ass, and listen, living around these people is hell because these are just the shootings that you hear about. There's a bunch of other interactions that don't make the news. You know what I'm saying? They're like this about everything, Everything is high stakes. You dig what I'm saying? The stakes is high on every interaction.
Facts.
They ready to die. Sun men ready to die over anything, ready to kill over anything. Salute the LRS, man. Coming through once again, man.
At 0750 hours this morning, there was a call for service in reference to a shooting at Carver High School.
2 15-year-olds were shot during an argument, as well as a 16-year-old innocent bystander before the first bell rang. Police say the 2 15-year-olds were the shooters. And in December,
Fox 45 News is following breaking news out of Carver Votech. Right now, what we understand, a student and teacher were stabbed.
Police arresting another student in relation to that stabbing. They say happened during an argument while class was in session.
Now, Fox 45 has also investigated gaps in GPS monitoring for juvenile offenders. At least 2 juvenile suspects in the Brooklyn Day mass shooting, the unnamed 14-year-old and 18-year-old Tristan Jackson, were reportedly wearing ankle monitors and under DJS supervision at the time of the shooting. DJS placed the ankle monitor on Jackson after he brought a loaded gun to Mervo High School. Now, Fox 45's Vincent Hill joins us now in studio. Vincent, we've talked about those issues with GPS monitoring and how kids and teens have often find ways to get around it. We've also heard from parents about that as well. What have you heard?
Yeah, Mackenzie, I spoke with a mom whose son was charged with a robbery near Morgan State, and you also talked to a mom whose daughter was accused of stealing cars, both saying home detention did nothing to keep their kids out of trouble.
I called the probation parole office, asked them, can I pay them to put him on the back? He violated 3 times, but nobody in the system knew. I had to let his PO know.
When she came home, she went out and stole the car that night and been getting arrested since on home detention. On home detention, they still won't do nothing. They won't violate her.
Now, Vince, do we know how many juveniles have been charged with murder this year?
Well, Mackenzie, the short answer is no. According to the state's attorney's office, most of those cases go directly to the adult system, so they actually have to get that data from another division in that office. But last week, you may recall, a 15-year-old turned himself in for the shooting death of 14-year-old Jasper Davis at the Mandamin Metro Station.
Yeah.
They know the number.
And listen, man, this level of crime is normal. Like, Fox is just covering it, right? They're covering it, but the level of crime is normal. This is not a big year. Their big years were like 2021, 2020, you know what I'm saying? They're coming back down to pre-2020 levels here. So it's like,
well, and 2020 wasn't even peak sun. Like, to get peak sun, you have to have strictly suns. You can't have, glider parts of the state still providing tax revenue and, stepping in and advising and all kinds of, support surrounding you. Peak sun is Haiti. It's just fucking wild, wild west. Keep your head on a swivel, grab something sharp. That's what peak sun is.
Yeah.
Like, this dude sitting here wearing a suit and all that shit, he's LARPing. This ain't his shit. The only reason he gets to sit here and run his mouth is because he lives amongst a majority white country. He'd be food.
Why don't the communities come together? Like, don't black communities get tired of living like this?
Why don't the communities come together?
Come together. Like, you would think they would do something like.
Listen, they're first person players, right? These are the same people that sold each other into slavery for eons, man. Yes. The only reason they're selling each other into slavery is because the slavery has been abolished. If the white man didn't abolish slavery, these same people right here would be selling each other into slavery.
They still do it in Africa, right? Today.
Right, but I'm talking about these exact people in a different, what do you call it? A different dimension. They be selling each other into slavery. Because it's just the only reason they're not doing it is because it's not available as an option for them. These are sons. Yo, listen, sons are sons. Nothing we do here is even remotely comparable to Negroes in Negro land. Because, like Fisherman said, the stewardship and the structure that the Western societies provide kind of make some things you just can't do them. Now, we'll get as close as we can to them, but there's some things that are just not possible here, man. Look at pimping. Some men love to pimp hoes. That's the closest thing you can get. Everything's the closest thing you can get to slavery. Sons do it. Whatever's the closest thing you can get to abusing somebody or doing somebody dirty, sons are the best at doing it.
Yeah, that's right. I remember that. Vince, thank you so much.
It's another video I wanted to show y'all out of DC. That was just bananas, man. Salute to LRLRS, man. Make sure you guys support the channel, man. We going into hour 3, man. Let's see if I can find this. It was the other day. It wasn't too long ago. Where is it?
Hey, real quick, did you guys see the guy that tried to rob somebody at the gun safety class?
What?
Yo,
This
insane. I'm gonna see if I
afternoon,
can find the
flags
video.
are flying at half staff.
Yeah, that's crazy. That don't surprise me though. That don't surprise me at all. Where's that story?
I think we covered that last year.
Huh?
I think we covered that story last year.
You talking very low. I couldn't hear you, bro. I couldn't hear you. You must got some food you took out the trash in your mouth, man. That's why we can't hear you. Go ahead, eat that food you got out the trash so you can understand what you said.
Iconic. You good?
Yeah, he's eating, bro. He's good. He's eating.
He's eating. Oh shit.
A protest in southeast D.C. after a deadly officer-involved shooting outside a McDonald's over the weekend. The 7 News I-team confirmed the man shot and killed by police, 26-year-old Justin Robinson, was a violence interrupter. Robinson is accused of crashing his car into a McDonald's on Marion Barry Avenue on Sunday. MPD says he was
I've been right here several times. This is the trenches. Now listen, I will say this. If this Sun Man was a violence interrupter, man, he lived a stressful life, man. In DC, a violence interrupter in DC, I don't blame him for having a weapon.
unresponsive and had a gun in his lap. And when he started to wake up, police say he grabbed an officer's gun, and that's when 2 other officers opened fire. 7 News has also learned Councilmember Trayon White was at last night's protest. He's accused of accepting.
So Trayon White is there. Why you?
Oh, he's trying to get support. He's trying to get the community to ride for him.
So you got, what a shit show this is. You got a violence interrupter who grabbed the cop's gun and got killed, and the guy, you know, the city council minister is fucking stealing funds from violence interruption programs and shit.
More than $150,000 in bribes over contract renewals. According to court documents, White received $35,000 in cash. You can see our full coverage.
They done blocked down Alabama Avenue.
On this ongoing case at WJLA.com.
Yeah, that's the trenches, man. Let me show you this though.
6 is the time right now developing this morning out of the district. New demands for answers by the family of a man shot and killed by D.C. police. Just hours ago, they held a protest outside the 7th District D.C. Police Station demanding the release of the officer's body camera video. That's where we find out Randy Ayala this morning. And Randy, good morning to you. The department is under a deadline to fulfill that request.
Yeah, good morning, Wisdom. Dozens of people showed up here protesting. You mentioned that deadline under DC law. The department has 5 days to release that body cam footage. I do want to show you, though, video from that protest outside the police station last night. Right now we are on day 2 of this investigation, so we still have a couple more days to go waiting for that body cam footage. But you can see a crowd of people holding signs out here saying
they got the whole hood out there demanding and look, the police are there blocking off the road so they can protest.
To their credit, that's a hell of a front line. Those two Shikas in front. Oh my goodness.
out here saying
I'm glad I don't be in DC no more like that, man. Like, I mean, I go to DC, but I'm talking about being like in part of the the culture and part of the community, man.
Yeah, one day it'll find you. You're gonna be sitting at a stoplight, and this shit's gonna come marching right
I
across in
mean,
front of you, and you're gonna be like, God damn it.
I'm not. Don't get me wrong, man. I still, talk to people and whatnot, but being in the mix, like wearing a wife beater and shit, and some saggy jeans, and being just outside and shit. Nah, I just, removed from that. That's so long ago. It seems like for me, man. 15 some odd
Signs out
years.
here saying justice for Justin. Another one reading,
good
my
old
name
days.
is Justin. They shot me while I
Yeah.
was barely conscious. Police were out here keeping a close eye on things as well. Now I want to get to what police say happened. There's still a lot of questions, but according to officers, Justin Robinson crashed into a wall of the McDonald's drive-thru, the McDonald's location on Marion Barry Avenue and Southeast around 5:30 Sunday morning. Officers say they found Robinson unresponsive with a gun on his lap. And then police say Robinson started moving, and when officers told him to drop his gun, they're claiming Robinson grabbed the officer's gun, and that's when both officers shot him. Right now, it's unclear how many shots were fired, but people who knew him said he did community work focused on reducing violence in the district and leaves behind a twin brother.
He was getting himself together, doing great, doing good. He also went around the neighborhoods to help the children, try to better.
All that's lies. If one of them is talking, they're lying. So we know they're lying. But I do believe that he was involved with the violence interruption group, and I do believe that that's tricky, man. You talk about a trick bag. You know what I'm saying? Like you are. He did time for a shooting. He did. I think he did like 8 years for a shooting. He came home and he got involved with the violence interruption. So he's an active Sun Man on the streets. Now he's a violence interrupter. It's a very tricky situation, man.
It's a very fine line.
Yeah,
Hey,
it's tricky.
One question. So did this guy he woke up and his violence intervention training just subconsciously kicked in and he started he saw there was guns and he tried to intervene and grab them? Is that what happened?
Apparently, I mean they're asking for the body cam. Let's see if they give the body cam.
Better them, teaching them, taking them on jobs to get them off the streets.
Now, the two officers involved are on leave. D.C. Police Internal Investigations and the U.S. Attorney's Office are part of this investigation. Now, as I mentioned, under D.C. law, the department has 5 days to release not only the body cam footage, but also the names of those two officers involved. So again, we're on day 2 of this investigation. So by the end of the week, we should have some more answers. And we'll, of course, keep you posted once police release some more information. I'll send it back to you.
All right, Randy.
Okay, so
D.C. Attorney General Brian Schwab says Justin Robinson did the important and dangerous work of mediating disputes in crime-ridden sections of the city, a job that requires a certain set of skills with a background that often includes time in prison.
I'm very, very saddened by the death of Mr. Robinson. As I said, I want to let the facts play out, the investigation determine what actually happened. But here's the reality. A lot of people doing this work of violence interruption work in our city, they have been convicted of crimes in the past. They have done their time. They have done their penance. And now they are looking for ways to make their city better.
D.C. Superior Court records show Justin Robinson pleaded guilty to a charge of assault with intent to kill in 2018 and was sentenced to 5 years in prison. He was released in January of 22. Cure the Streets is a grant-based program Schwab says is driving down crime in the city.
Is Schwab Juice Crew, man?
Well, this white dude, whatever he is on the right.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be. He didn't really look Juice Crew to me.
He's Juice Crew.
City.
We look geographically at where historic crime has occurred before the Cure the Street sites came into play. We look at it over time chronologically, and we can measure the number of shootings, the number of fatalities. We also measure the number of mediations and agreements and community events that are being created in those communities, because it's not just disrupting the cycle of violence, it's then building relationships.
This video, shared with News 4 by a member of Robinson's family, was posted on social media. It purports to show Robinson's car in the McDonald's drive-thru just before the shooting. News 4 has not been able to independently verify the video. D.C. police have released a photograph of the gun they say Robinson had inside his car. D.C. police say the officers involved in the shooting were wearing body cameras. News 4 has learned that footage was shown to the family earlier today. Justin Robinson was hired by Cure the Streets in April. He was not on duty at the time of the shooting. In the district, Paul Wagner.
Off duty, man. Where's body cam at, man?
News 4.
DC police are still working to show that body camera video to other members of Robinson's family. It is still unclear if the family will agree to.
Where that body cam at, man?
Yeah, that'll be a good one.
Yeah, man.
Not that it matters. Like, I mean, facts really don't matter.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Here it is. Here it is.
I mean, he could have pulled out a bazooka and pointed it at him, and they wouldn't matter.
DC leaders will not be releasing the body camera footage worn by two officers who shot and killed a violence interrupter over the weekend.
Fox 5's Nana Sanyabontu is downtown with the very latest. So, Nana, do we know why they won't show the video that was supposed to come out this week?
Guys, so we're hearing that the family of Justin Robinson does not want the video of this deadly officer-involved shooting to be released. Now,
that means he called.
Wow.
Guaranteed.
So now they don't want to release after seeing it. So they got to see it and they was like, oh, hell no.
On second.
Said money's gonna dry up real quick. We gotta hustle this a little bit longer. Hang on.
They go
Pause.
to its thing.
Hit the pause on the video.
Yo, that's crazy. They like
Think about how bad that video must have been for them to say that. Like, he must
What do
have
you mean how
really
bad? Did you hear the description? If it's just what they said,
right.
But he just that he woke up and grabbed the cop's gun.
Right.
That
Jesus.
is like, I think they were thinking that maybe they're lying. Maybe the cops were lying. I don't know. Like,
yeah. Yo, if that Sun Man was alive, could like talk, he'd say, "I didn't know there were cops. You didn't know they were." Oh my fucking god!
all these lights.
Maybe his past trauma of violence intervention, he woke up and thought he was in like a violence situation, like, and just had to break up the cops from shooting each other.
I mean, look, I know you said the description is bad, right? But think about how bad it looked for them to not still proceed.
They probably just skimmed over it. It probably was. Yeah, it was probably crazy. It's kind of like Sonya Massey, like how they probably just say, "Oh yeah, she had a partner." He got shot for having a partner. And it's like, that ain't actually what happened. It was actually a lot more than that.
According to DC law, Mayor Muriel Bowser actually has 5 days to release this video unless the family of the decedent objects. And this is exactly what is happening. But just days ago, even yesterday, the family and the community came together demanding for this body-worn camera footage to be released. Now, we are going to show and play video of the moment.
Crazy. They actually like called them out on that. I was shocked they did that, right? It was like, yeah, we remember y'all was out here protesting. Y'all was blocking all the streets trying to get that damn body cam.
I think it
Shots were
doesn't matter
fired by DC police officers Sunday morning in Southeast. It's important that we warn you that this may be disturbing for some viewers.
Oh, shots. Oh, shots fired. Shots fired.
Now, you can hear the sound of gunfire, but you can't clearly see what's going on. According to MPD, on Sunday morning around 5:30 on the 2500 block of Marion Barry, DC police.
He looked like such a nice man, nice young man, but you know he was in the streets. You know he'd blow your brains out for over a fucking cigarette butt.
Mm-hmm.
He looked like such an innocent guy, man.
I'm sure he used it.
Responded.
It's all relative.
I'm sure he used that to his advantage.
5:30 on the 2500 block of Marion Barry, DC police responded to the McDonald's about a crash. When they arrived to the scene is when they found the 26-year-old Robinson in his car at the drive-thru unresponsive. Police say they also noticed that there was a gun in his lap, and that's when they called for backup. Shortly after, police say Robinson started to wake up. They asked him to put his gun down, and that's when they say he tried to grab an officer's gun before two officers fired their weapons. Robinson died on the scene. Now, the shooting led to protests, questions from the community, and a demand to see the body-worn camera that we now know won't be released. We had a chance to speak with a community leader, Joanna Hardy. She initially was demanding for the video and the footage to be released, but says she understands why the family may not want the video to be out.
To see your loved one, no matter what the situation is, but to see your loved one on social media, on TV, to have to relive that.
Is that really why Jawan?
No, like what a fucking piece of shit this woman is.
Look at her though.
Damn well that ain't the reason.
Look at her program we paying for, man. Guns Down Friday. So listen, I applaud her, man. She just like, look, Friday, like just put the guns down on Friday.
Yeah, Friday's supposed to be like the best day of the week because the week's over. Yeah. Just give us Friday.
Baby steps, huh? Baby steps.
No, she's compartmentalizing. She's doing something that's manageable. I could get behind her program and pause. I mean, no, don't pause. But I can get behind her program, literally.
Except for the part where the program doesn't work.
Right, get your money, sister. Get your money.
Yeah, because listen. I would even go further. Put the guns down between 5 and 5:30 on the second Tuesday of every month.
Yeah, you might be able to show some like significant improvement then.
Right. I go further. Put the guns down for 1 hour of the year. You know,
during the winter solstice or the summer solstice.
Between 5 and 5:30 in the morning, because I'm on results, man. I'm like, yeah, guns
man, they out there.
Between 5 and 5:30 in the morning.
They out there at that time, bro. They're out there hunting at that time.
Yeah, but it ain't that many. It's still a lesser chance, man. I can get a big grant for that because I can show. Look, right, man, look at my number. Look at my time that I got. 5 and 5:30 a.m. Between look at the other group's time, right, man.
Not give me my money.
Yeah, man. And if you take my 30 minutes and extrapolate it over 24 hours, man, I've solved the gun problem.
Right. If you give me $5
million.
Right. I need $5 million.
5 to 5:45 next. We're moving.
Yeah, exactly.
One day you're actually going to do this shit and you're going to get like $2 million and we're never going to see you on this show again.
Right. The I Nation, stop the gun violence.
That's a good idea, man.
Yeah, man. She gave me an idea, Jawanda, man. Shout out to Jawanda cleavage. Jawanda, she got the cleavage out. She tried to distract us from what she's doing.
Yeah,
you know what you're doing. You was just begging for you just the man of the damn body cam and she calling people racist and shit if they ain't release it.
The booby cam.
Yeah, man. Shout out to my man Don Wrinkles, man. Don Wrinkles gets it, man. He gets it, man. He just gets it, man. He says, I support the channel, so can you. We need Akatunde, the glider guider, with Tumbo's insight and knowledge now more than ever. Yeah, man. I'm gonna tell you what it is, man. tell you what the truth is, man.
Right.
Shout
Don't
out to
kick.
her though,
Rule number
man.
one. Don't. Yeah. Rule number one, Gladys. Don't kick them out. Rule number two. Don't get close. Don't be proximal. Or I don't know
Yeah,
what rule that
man.
one is, but you know.
And if it's more than 3, flee, man. And when you see one of these, man, they're a Democrat 99% of the time.
Video to be out.
To see your loved one, no matter what the situation is, but to see your loved one on social media, on TV, to have to relive that every day is traumatizing. So I totally understand the family's wish to keep that video private.
Now, in this letter on your screen from Deputy Mayor of Public Safety and Justice, Lindsay Appiah, to Council Member Brooke Pinto, the chair of the Judiciary Committee, Appiah did provide the names of the officers who are now on administrative leave pending the investigation. Officers Vaso Mateos and Brian Gilchrist.
Vaso Mateos, is that a goddamn hombrito?
Maybe a sombrero, perhaps.
Nah, man. Vaso Mateos.
You know what? Fuck out the strength. We'll take it.
I don't know. Vaso's Vase, right?
I never really
Vase
heard that.
Matthews, man.
What if it's one of those Portuguese people you told me about that be in the East Coast?
Leave pending the investigation. Officers Vaso Mateos and Brian Gilchrist. Mateos has been with the department for 4 years and Gilchrist 2.5 years. They are both assigned to the 7th District. Hardy says none of this makes sense.
I feel like anytime police are involved in a community shooting, there's always going to be questions. There's always questions because who has the right to take a life? It's just not fair. I'm not sure, what the situation was. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but I just want it to be fair for his family.
There's no questions when the constant daily violence amongst peers. No questions. Like how fucking dumb can you be?
Yeah, I love how
My thing is, listen, look, she demanded the body cam. She's been following it closely, right? Like no one's been closer to this than her. She's seen the police report. She's talked to the police about what happened. Now the body cams come out. She's close to the family, even if she hasn't seen the body cam. She saw the family come to her and say, "Hey, I know you've been running around calling everybody racist and blocking all streets and shit, and then get the body cam released. But we need you to go to the news and tell them we not gonna release it because we don't want to see our loved one, blah 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 blah." So she knows what happened on that video. For her to sit here and say, "I don't know what really happened," and to be like, "Yo, anytime it's a police shooting, something wrong," is straight up like just insane level.
But it's also true though. Like some folks, they'll literally say, "I don't know what happened, but they shouldn't have shot him." But you don't know what happened, motherfucker. They will say that shit.
It actually helps them support the cause by just not knowing what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, this is crazy.
And for the community, just to bring peace.
Now, we are also learning that City Council actually has the ability to request to see this body-worn camera footage for oversight purposes. We're not too sure what exactly they're going to do yet. We have reached out to a number of council members, including Brooke Pinto, and we're waiting to hear back. Guys.
If it shows exactly what they're saying, don't you think they'll still just call it racist and terrible and like a bad?
Oh no, they'll say he had a mental health episode and they shouldn't have intervened before he had a.
Well, they'll say like sleeping in your car ain't no reason you gotta die for real.
Sleeping in your car while black.
Sleeping in your car while black ain't a death sentence. You feel me?
Did you see? Did you see what the sign just said? one of the signs of the protest said, "I'm sleeping, don't shoot." I swear to
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, right.
No, it didn't.
It's the same shit
No,
every
it didn't.
time.
No, it didn't say that. Are you serious?
I gotta see it.
No,
Yo,
no way it
these,
said that.
yeah, these people are this is
It's
insane,
it's
man.
like I said earlier.
Oh,
It's like I said earlier when you were gone. Hands up, don't
This
shoot,
is W.
cops.
same neighborhood, man. Same neighborhood.
This is WUSA 9 News at 11, and we are following some breaking news as we come on the air tonight. Thank you for being here with us. I'm Lorenzo Hall. 5 people are in the hospital right now after being shot in Southeast D.C. This happened just about 3 hours ago, not far from a senior living facility. Our Alexis Wainwright just got an update from police to figure out how this happened, and she spoke with neighbors.
Tonight, this community is in shock and is scared. All of this happening right near a senior living facility. Tonight, I spoke with one woman who says her mother is one of the victims who was shot in the leg. DC police say they responded to a call about a shooting here on the 900 block of Varney Street in Southeast. 5 people are now recovering after being shot. Police say 2 men and 3 women have non-life-threatening injuries. Tonight, we spoke with several people who live in the senior living home across the street from where the shooting happened, and they're frustrated about the violence.
We haven't had any problems as far as I know, but we need to do something with this as a whole. We all need to do something with this. This is a mess.
What you mean?
You know,
Do
if it's
something?
not
You've
safe
been
for
around.
nobody.
You've been around. My man look like Father Time out here. What you been doing all the time?
Santa Claus.
He probably did some shit himself.
Yeah, like now you want
Keep
to
his
do
beard
something.
tight.
He was probably an outlaw in the Wild West. You know, one of those black cowboys.
Yeah. I think I know exactly what it's at. This look like it's on Minnesota, off of Minnesota Avenue. I don't
Wait,
know.
how far is it from
And
the
are you
other incident? Do you know?
For the McDonald's, I gotta see. They're not telling
This
you
is
exactly where it is,
crazy.
but it looked like Minnesota. It looked like Minnesota Avenue.
They said it was Barney or some shit. It's crazy though.
Learned it all about.
How consistent the ratios are for some people, man. They just don't kill. Like they'll shoot everybody, but it'll be like 10 shots, no one's dead. The burritos and gliders, they kill, man. You know?
Yeah, I mean, but volume, like you gotta understand, we do like 90% of the shooting, so we end up
Yeah.
killing. Like,
No, I got that. But it's crazy how consistently every night they'll shoot like 4, 6 people and nobody dies. You know?
that's
Can
because
you
we're
imagine how bad it would be if they could shoot?
but we're cowards too, like in a way. Like a lot of our shooting is sneaking up on you or just it's so impulsive, right?
Shooting into a crowd.
It's like it happens within a short time frame, the decision to shoot in the act of shooting. That and then the tunnel vision when you're about to go shoot, it makes everybody who's in that area so unsafe, man. Because I can think about myself too. Like, listen, man, I know that red that some men see, like a small grievance, a small offense, a minor offense, and there's some men are thinking about killing you, man. I think y'all got to know that, like. When y'all like have like minor offenses with something like in public or whatever, that's a bad thing about killing your ass, man. I hope you know that, man.
About your safety after
I
seeing
would
what happened
never.
tonight?
You have to be frightened. It's terrible, you know. But they always have trouble in that building.
No information or description has been released about a suspect. Police are asking anyone with information to come forward.
Another one, no, it's the 2 dudes that would probably be in jail, but they're not in jail, and they're never probably gonna go to jail. Let's see this one.
Crazy.
Only on WUSA 9, we are hearing from one of the victims who was shot during a mass shooting in Southeast DC Friday night. Good to see you this Saturday evening. I'm Larry Miller. Our Alexis Wainwright has been following this story since the very beginning, and tonight she shares how one woman who was shot, how that has changed her life. Take a look.
Tonight, a mother is traumatized and is asking for people to put the guns down. In our exclusive
That the same
interview,
girl
she
from
tells
last
me
night?
she and her kids were all outside when they heard gunshots.
It's definitely hard to walk, putting pressure on that leg, but for the most part, I'm in good spirit.
If you asked LaShawn Hubbard, she'd say by the grace of God, she's still alive. But now she isn't able to do what she's used to.
It's going to keep me out of work. I'm not going to be able to get around. I have steps at home. So it's definitely hard to get around.
This is after she was shot while she was on her back porch.
Next thing I know, I heard bow, 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 bow. And I was like, what in the world? Then I felt something hit my leg.
She is just one of the 5 people recovering after being shot on the 900 block of Varney Street in Southeast. She says after she realized she was shot, the only thing she could think to do next was to find her children.
So I ran, like I said, to the moon bounce, and all I can think is Jesus protect us, Jesus protect my children, Jesus just keep us, cover us. And then I grabbed them, and I'm like, get down.
She also grabbed another neighbor's child. Then she says more shots were fired shortly after she was able to call 911. And now she's speaking up in hopes of change.
It has got to stop. It's sad. We need to come together as a community. And it's just tragic. You can't even play in your backyard.
Hubbard says she's ready to move somewhere else now to protect her and her children.
Oh
but
no,
it's tough with
stay.
the cost of living.
Stay. Please don't
Yeah.
move to another community.
Keep your black ass in your black ass neighborhood.
Yeah, man. Don't bring your everything, your vote. Don't bring your goddamn kids to our school district.
The brood. The brood.
Yeah, don't bring nothing, man. Let's stay.
How unfortunate.
Our kids will be the next round of Punishers.
Salute to Oakview, man. Oakview in the building, man. Shout out to you, man. It was a great show, man. Salute, guys, man. Same black time, same black channel. Out of here. Peace out.
Salute, y'all.